If you are a business owner in the city of Los Angeles, there's no shortage of taxes that you have to pay. There's income taxes, payroll taxes, sales tax, unemployment tax, and of course, the city of LA business tax. Now, if you conduct any business in the city of LA, even if you have a physical office in the city of LA, or if you don't have a physical office, you have to have an LA City business license and you have to pay LA City business tax. The LA City business license and the tax that's associated with it takes a lot of business owners by surprise because they don't realize they have to apply for the business license and actually pay the tax associated with it. But because of Assembly Bill 63 or AB 63, now the Franchise Tax Board shares information with the city of LA. So the city of LA knows if you have any kind of business income, whether if it's sole proprietorship, an LLC, or an S corporation. And once they know if you've got business income, they compare that with your address. And if you're in the city of Los Angeles, then you're going to get a nasty letter from them saying, hey, we noticed that you're operating a business in the city of LA. How come you don't have a business license? And how come you did not pay tax on that? So the purpose of this video is not to explain what the LA City business tax is or how to calculate the tax. In fact, I did two separate videos that explain in detail what the LA City business tax is, what the exemptions are, and also how to calculate it. The purpose of this video is to show you how to apply for the LA City business license. So that way, once you have a license, then you can pay the tax every year. Hey, if you're joining us for the first time, my name is Aura Ogorian with ACAP Advisors and Accountants, and welcome to our channel. We are a full-service wealth management and CPA firm. If you haven't done so already, remember to subscribe, like, and share our channel. That way, we're able to continue to provide you with some useful information and useful videos that you can use in your business. Okay, so now let's get into how to actually apply for the new business registration process. Once you go to a web browser and you're going to search, let's see what you're going to search. You're going to search LA City Business License Application, and then it'll take you to this page that we were just at. You're going to click on Online New Business Registration, which will take you to this new page. And then here it's going to show you all the things that you need to be able to register for your business license. You're going to need your social security number or EIN, the name of your business, when it started, the address, and then some other information about other permits that you may or may not have. So then once you have all those things handy, you're going to click Proceed. It'll take you to this page. And next, we're going to go over what type of business that you're in. We're going to assume that we're just starting a new business application or business license for our CPA practice. So that's the information we're going to put in, but obviously it's going to be applicable to whatever business that you're in. You'll notice that it asks for either a federal employer identification number, also known as an EIN, or your social security number. Now, depending on the type of entity you are, is going to determine what you're going to fill out here. You're not going to fill out both. If you are a sole proprietor, then you want to put in your social security number because you're not going to have a federal EIN. But if you are a S corporation or a C corporation or an LLC, or if you are a sole proprietor that has applied for and has obtained an EIN, then you're going to complete this B section, federal EIN. Now let's assume we're just going to put a fictitious number in here because I already have a business license. And next, we're going to answer the questions here. So in our case, we're a professional service firm, but you're going to go through here and see which one of these industries applies to you. And you'll notice later on the next page that it gets very granular on the types of businesses that we're in. So for our case, we are in the service business, and none of the other ones apply to us. And once we click Accept and Proceed, we'll get to this other section where it asks us what type of service business we're in. Most of these, again, do not apply to us. So we're going to click No, but if they do apply to you, then you're going to click Yes. All right. We're going to get to the section where we are considered, it's the type of business. In our case, it's none of these apply, which I'm sure I'm surprised why, but it says, do you conduct any service activities that are not described in the miscellaneous services, as well as other businesses not specifically taxed by other sections of the business? Some examples are attorneys, dentists, barbers, For us, because we're a CPA firm, it will fall into this category. We're going to click no for these other ones. And it's going to take us to the next section. Oops, I guess we missed one of the questions. There we go. We're not a public relations agency. Okay. Next, it asks us another series of questions. Now, the first one is, do you have a police alarm permit? If you have an alarm at your business, you may or may not know that you need to get a permit for that, and that permit costs money. So in this case, I'm going to put no on here, but if you do have a alarm, you definitely need to identify whether or not you have the permit for it. We're not a bath or a tanning salon. None of these apply to us. We're definitely not an escort service or a gunsmith or a figure studio, a locksmith. We don't offer massages. This is not applicable to us. Not private patrols. And so none of these apply to us. So we're going to click proceed. We are not a school, so that doesn't apply to us. It's not a surgical center. So we're going to describe what our business is. We are a CPA firm, right? You can put a CPA and wealth management firm. Right? And then our legal name is ACAP. Actually, we don't have a DBA. And then we're going to put the year that we started. Let's assume that we're starting on November 13, 2022, or 2013, 2022. It's a type of business. In our case, we are a corporation, right? But if you are a LLC or a partnership or a sole proprietor, you're going to put that information here. And then you're going to put your street address here. In our case, it's 12031. We don't have a fractional address for us. The street name, for our case, Ventura Boulevard. We have a unit number, Suite 1. And then our city is Studio City. And zip code is 91604. And there's no care of, and it's a commercial location. Now, if the mailing address is the same as your business address, you'll just click here. Next, you're going to put your sales tax number. If you have a sales tax number or seller's permit, you're going to put that seller's permit number here. If you sell anything, in our case, we don't. Next, it's going to ask you what your business professional activity code is. And if you don't know what that is, you can click on here and it'll take you to a section where you can search for it. In our case, it's other services, professional scientific, Office of Certified Public Accountants. We click that and it'll populate right here. If we have a secondary business activity code, we'll put that here. Then we'll put our name, email address, our web address if we need to, and then we'll complete all this and we'll click submit. Once we click submit, we're going to have a temporary business license that we're going to get. It's going to be a page where we can save as a PDF form, and then we can use that. It's going to have our number on there, and then we're going to have a permanent one mailed out to us that's going to be on cardstock paper. But that's going to have your business license number on there, and that's the number you're going to use to pay your business tax every year, which will start in January, and the deadline is end of February, so February 27th or 28th. So you're going to do that every year and using that number that you're going to have. But we're not going to click submit here because we've already got this business license. So these are the steps that you need to take to apply for the LA City business license and to pay for the tax when it comes tax time. Now, to know what your rates are come tax time, you're going to go to this section, which is also in the City of LA Office of Finance. You're going to click on the tax table rates or the tax rate tables, and it'll take you to this PDF form. In our case, we are miscellaneous services. Actually, it's not miscellaneous services for us. We are professions and occupations, other professions and occupations. So class 9, and it's $4.50 for every $1,000 of income. And if you want to know how that tax is calculated, look at our other video where we go into how the LA City business tax is actually calculated. And we also have a separate video on what is the LA City business tax and who needs one and what are some of the exemptions for the LA City business tax.